Okay, sorry. So here we go, about to get into Isaiah chapter 36. Yes, but I wanted to, I found what I was looking for. I remembered it for so long and then I couldn't. But what I was looking for was Titus 3:9. We get caught up on things that don't have a thing to do with salvation. There's only one thing that has to do with salvation, and that's Jesus Christ. And so if we want to get into some strong discussions, it should be with people that believe there's a way to heaven apart from Jesus Christ. And I've been a part of some of those discussions here lately. Dispensational ideas, I feel, differ. I'm not talking about people of the Old Testament necessarily, but I'm talking about the people of today. There is no way. There is no other way to heaven except for Jesus Christ. If you want, we want to have that discussion, and we want to look at evidences, be that with different religions or what have you. I think that's a cool conversation to have, a cool discussion, debate. There is no other way to get to heaven apart from Jesus Christ, and it is He that endureth to the end, not by works. But anyway, having said that, we get caught up on things that have nothing to do. We get caught up on arguments and discussions. Can you lose your salvation? What's some other big ones? Can you fall from grace, lose your salvation? Even the millennial reign, and I think there are hard truths in there. Don't get me wrong, and important, but they don't have anything to do with salvation. If you can lose your salvation, then don't. Or if you've lost it, get it back. And if you can't, make sure that you've truly gotten it. So, Bible translations, the color of the carpet, the types of music. I was looking for Titus 3:9. Maybe Isaiah plays into this today. I don't know. Doesn't look like it will. But I wanted to share this before we get into Isaiah chapter 36. I don't like the NRSV translation very well because of some very neutral wording that's in there. But I do like the NRSV apart from that. But the one thing keeps me from liking it. It's a New Oxford, very stupid. Here's what it says in the NRSV. It says, avoid stupid controversies, genealogies, dissensions, and quarrels about the law, for they are unprofitable and worthless. And we're about to be in the KJV today. So for the hardcore KJVers, and I love the KJV, it says, avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and striving about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. The summary that I have for this passage warns believers. This is a summary. It's subjective. This passage warns believers against getting consumed with arguments and controversies that create division rather than spiritual growth. We're fighting the same fight here, right? Scripture calls Christians to focus on truth, godliness, humility, peace, and edification, to build up instead of prideful disputes, endless debates, and unnecessary strife. This principle can apply to division over Bible translations, church preferences, worship styles, and other issues that often generate conflict without producing spiritual fruit. Titus 3:9. We get caught up on. I made a post on my business account on Facebook a few years ago. I think it was from 1 Corinthians 15. Is there a 1 Corinthians 15? But it was to see if you to test yourself to see if you were of the faith. And I was just trying to win people to Jesus, and it wasn't under Jeremy's name. It was under my business account. I didn't want anybody to see it. I'm looking to see if I can find that. But I'm pretty sure it was to see if we to test ourselves to see if we are of the faith. And anyway, some of the biggest kickback that I had, and there was a long list of things, said, did you do this today? Did you do this today? I don't believe that you can lose your salvation. But I believe once you have that true conversion, once that you're truly hooked up with Jesus, you want to walk that out. You're not going to trodden over the cross. It's not a license to sin. We do not willfully rob banks anymore, or whatever the case may be. But some of the biggest kickback that I got on that post, and it was viewed like 23,000 times I forget, it's just like massive. I paid for it like $100, and it was just massive. The outpouring, the shares, like almost 500. Some of the biggest conflicts I had in that were Christians, so-called Christians. You know, they were coming challenging this and challenging, this is all scripture. So let us not get caught up in vain controversies. And this is probably getting a little bit. This is 5 minutes, so that's just some bonus stuff. I won't even include that in Isaiah today. So let us edify. And can we have discussions? Let's have discussions, man. I got some guys that I think of like brothers who are way smarter than me, but I don't see some of these the dispensational ideas. I can recognize the different times in time. I'm not disputing that, but I don't think that we look at things completely the same. And I'm searching the scriptures. I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to stand on truth. But I tell you, talking about the covenant Jew versus the ethnic Jew, and we could talk about that for weeks. In Romans, all through Romans, it's in there, and it's all throughout everywhere. Actually, in Isaiah, it's everywhere. So, let us not get caught up on things that don't matter, and let us certainly focus on the things that do. And what matters is Jesus Christ. So anyway, I'm not going to include this in the reading of Isaiah. We'll just make it its own little bonus chit chat here today, and we'll shoot that video, and we will get into Isaiah chapter 36.